So let's talk about understanding the risks of attempting to invest in ungraded collectibles versus graded collectibles where third-party grading is offered. Because this is a question I get a lot. Sean, I don't agree with the third-party grading companies. I think that they're monopolizing the market and they're causing evil investors like you to come into these markets, bid them up, and cause prices to rise. Now, I've always said on this channel, third-party grading is a necessary evil in the antiques and collectibles trade. It's almost like the Fed regulating the economy. That's what third-party grading does when they do it right. It's a necessary evil. Nobody really likes handing over all this power and control to grading companies, especially in a lot of these markets that we all have an emotional attachment to. But I'm here to tell you, again, it's a necessary evil because when done right, third-party grading brings a lot of confidence into the marketplace. And that confidence translates in liquidity because buyers and sellers both know what they're getting if the item is third-party graded by a company like CGC or PSA or PCGS or NGC. Any of these top-tier grading companies, they bring a tremendous amount of confidence in the market. So what are the risks? Let's say that you're a Timmy out there and you come to me, Sean, I don't want to hear it. I'm going only after ungraded collectibles. I don't care about third-party grading at all. Well, here's the problem you're going to have. Because graded collectibles in established and mature markets are more liquid than non-graded collectibles. Let me use this as a great example. Let's suppose you're looking for a near mint condition copy of Werewolf by Night 32. You don't care if it's graded by CGC or if it's ungraded, meaning it's completely raw. You just want to add a near mint condition copy of Werewolf by Night 32 to your comic book collection. So you log on to eBay and there are two identical books selling at the current market value of a near mint condition 9.4 copy of Werewolf by Night 32, the going rate. One is graded by CGC, universal grade in 9.4. The other is a raw book that the seller states would grade 9.4 condition if it was sent in the CGC. They're both the same price. What book are you going to buy? Well, hopefully if you're not a dumbass, if you're not a Timmy, if you're not a Kimmy, if you're not a Poindexter, you're going to buy the one that's graded by CGC in 9.4 universal grade because you already know the condition of that book. Case in point, graded collectibles in established and mature markets are more liquid than non-graded collectibles. Now let's talk about point two. Believe it or not, specialty auction houses are sometimes needed to sell ungraded antiques and collectibles. Now make no mistake, this more in particular applies to items that cannot be third-party graded. We talked about this a little bit in this channel when I talk about collectible first edition books. There is no third-party grading company that grades and encapsulates collectible first edition books. So if you're going to buy an item like that, you need to understand that if you go to sell it into the market, you're either going to have to find a specialty dealer, a rare book dealer, or you're going to have to consign it to an auction house that specializes in rare books, like Heritage Auctions or Swan Auction Galleries. It's not going to be as liquid as, say, a rare graded coin or a rare graded piece of currency. And the reason for that brings us to point three. Condition can be very subjective on collectibles that cannot be third-party graded or not third-party graded. And this is something that you need to understand. You can go to an auction company. You can buy a piece of antique furniture that they list in near mint condition. The piece is unrestored. It's in near mint condition. You could buy it, take it home, put it in your living room, not touch it. And then literally 6 months to a year can go by and you can go, you know what? I want to consign that piece back to the auction house. You send it back to the auction house gets it, and they say, well, we're sorry, we're going to list this in excellent condition. We don't think it qualifies as near mint condition anymore. And you go, well, wait a minute, I didn't damage it. All is what I did was unbox it, put it in my living room. 6 months went by, I sent it back to you. the auction company has a right to do that, guys. They can look at it and they can say, okay, this no longer qualifies as near mint. We don't want to list it as near mint. We're going to list it as excellent. If you have those type of items, you're the one that's going to get hit in the face with a stale donut. You're the one that's going to take a loss on that item if it goes up for bid and somebody says, well, gee, I was looking for a near mint unrestored piece. You're listing this as excellent condition only. It's going to affect the sale price of that item. That's why investing in items that do not have notable, trustworthy third-party grading is inherently risky sometimes. It doesn't mean they're a bad investment. It just means there's an extra layer of risk there. Last but not least, you need to understand that from an auction house's perspective, they have to work harder to auction off ungraded collectibles than graded collectibles. This is because if the item is ungraded, if the item does not have any authenticity to it, the auction company has to do a condition assessment and they have to assess that the item had no restoration and is authentic before they can list it. Case in point, let's say that you have a collection of coins and 50% of that collection is graded by PCGS and NGC. Auction company gets that. There's no question on authenticity or condition. The third-party grading company already did the work. All they have to do is take photos of those items and list them. An idiot could list those items because even if you know nothing about coins, all you got to do is read the grading label. Oh, this is a 1909 wheat penny. Oh, it's graded by MS 64 plus condition by NGC. You can easily list that. On the other side of the equation, the other 50% of that collection that isn't graded, it's very subjective. The auction company has to look at every single coin, analyze the condition, and also take good photographs of those coins. Now, in most cases, if you're going through one of the big boys, Stacks and Bowers, Heritage auctions, they're most likely, if the coins are worth grading, they're going to send them to a third-party grading company for you at your expense because they don't want to take the time to list that stuff individually because there's really no benefit to it when third-party grading exists. So these are the risks you got to understand. If you're going to try to invest in ungraded collectibles, especially if you're investing in a market where third-party grading already exists. So to those of you out there that keep sending me emails, Sean, I invest in this stuff. I want nothing to do with third-party grading at all. You are, my friend, slapping yourself in the face with a stale donut if you do not understand how these markets work and the risks you are undertaking. Again, I am not in 100% agreement with third-party grading. The reason why I am pro third-party grading is because when done right, it is a necessary evil in the overall antiques and collectibles trade. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.